Hello everyone. Welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. Our webinar today is entitled SAP Recipe Development New Product Roadmap. This webinar will review SAP's latest release of their recipe development solution, including many new expanded capabilities designed to drive productivity and key cross-industry business benefits. You will learn how your organization can take quick advantage of this market-leading recipe development solution and what's coming in the near future. My name is Ralph Davis, Marketing Manager at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions.
Thanks a lot this morning for everybody attending. So what we're going to try to do is just do a couple of slides, just give you a little bit of an outline on some of the things from not just the overall solution, but also a little bit of the roadmap, and then have some open conversation around that. And then Dave's going to take you in and take a look at some of the newer tools and toys that are out there in this space. So kind of moving ahead, I do have to mention, obviously, we're going to show you stuff that isn't released yet. So in some cases, you know, I can talk to you about where the confidence level is and how far along we are in terms of the release cycle. But some of the stuff obviously hasn't been released for general consumption yet. So a couple of things, a few marketing things at the beginning, and then so I can use kind of set a groundwork for where we're going from building the roadmap and how we're building the solution out. More and more, we're finding that innovation really is a definer in our companies and the companies that we work with and the customers we work with. It defines your brand value, it defines your connection to your customers, and your customers are expecting more and more. So PLM is becoming less and less of a tool and more of a business strategy, and really working in a way that presents a number of unique opportunities for improvement of the process. You know, whether this be time to market improvements, whether it be quality improvements, handover or connection to manufacturing and supply chain, all these things are opportunities that sit on the table, and especially in the process industry where we're so driven by either one of two major factors, one being compliance or second being consumer or customer need. We have to really be able to react and react accordingly. So it kind of is really a change in thought process from just being a set of tools where we dump data to one that really enables the design process and the innovation process. And so with that in mind, we kind of look at this as three very basic concepts. The first is you want to have solutions that make smart people smarter. And if you've ever heard me present before, this is a tone or a topic that I've repeated numerous times. And the reason is I believe it really resonates quite well. The reality is you know, people who do product design for a living are intelligent people. They've gone to school specifically to learn certain types of capabilities, whether it be a chemist or a food scientist or anybody else that does formulation. But the reality is they're asked to do a lot with a little. So we want to really put them in a position where they can make better, more intelligent decisions as part of design, whether that be a compliance decision or a supply chain or a quality or whatever the case might be. I've used a statistic before. There's a stat out there that says something like 75% of all products released in the consumer products area fail to meet financial objectives. So basically, for lack of a better description, 75% of all new product releases fail.
Hey Dan, thank you immensely for that introduction and that fine peek into, you know, what's fresh and coming up and what's the direction and some future activities that we're all very excited to let's say get our sweaty little fingers on some of this new functionality out there. So we're looking forward to that. So with that, let's kind of go over what I'm going to talk about. As Dan was talking about, making smart people smarter, right, and more efficient. So, you know, kind of what I've tailored here is, you know, is to go over some of these tools that SAP is providing to help you speed your business process, your ability to look at information, to touch this information, to make decision-based smart decisions with this information so you can work on it. And so with that said, I'm going to talk about some of these tools that SAP has provided out there, and it's working with object sets and building blocks, working with multiple recipes at a time, talking to Dan's idea of the playground. Improvements in handover to manufacturing. Dan talked about that a couple times in there. How can you move this information from your R&D world out to so you can actually build? This is you're in the business to make money. The only way you're going to make money is to manufacture. You're not going to make money in the lab. You're going to make money when you ship it out the door, right? So you got to enable the enterprise with this back end of R&D and take this rich R&D information and make it scalable and manufacturable and deliverable so you can make a profit on it. And at the end, Dan's playground of finding this information. I need to find all my artificially flavored artificial ingredients I might have in my product line. What is that impact to me? How many products is that? Where are those products at? Using this recipe finder based on HANA, and then simulate what those formulations might be in the end. So that's real quick, high level on some of the things I'm going to talk about here today in our remaining time. So the object set and building block will be our first discussion point here. Really, what the object set is kind of Dan's idea of making smart people smarter. Well, smart people smarter is giving them tools that they can then work in their toolkit. Get their golf bag out. What are the clubs I have in here? One of the clubs that Dan provides you with is the object set, and the object set is really kind of a golf bag, right? You have the ability to put in all your different clubs that you really like to use, and oh, by the way, you can have different sets of golf bags. So you can have a number of different object sets, and then each object set can have your clubs. In other words, what are the specific items, objects you're going to use on a daily basis when you're working with different aspects of your product lines, right? So if you look in the graphic there, you can see, I'm got an object set in my red box here, and I've got manage my object set. So I can have a number of different object sets I can create, and within those object sets, by creating them, I can then fill them up with different things. What can I fill them up with? The mix objects are specs, materials, recipes, building blocks, etc. You can read it as best as I can.